Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Freedom here. I just got this from Amazon. I got a YouTube question 2 or 3 days ago from a person by the name of Joel, asking me what torque meter I used to put on my bottom bracket. I didn't have a direct answer for him because I tightened it by hand. And I explained to him that because I have experience as a mechanic for about 7 years, back in the 90s, I just squeezed it by hand and that's it. So I went ahead and bought this torque meter, which is a torque wrench. It's 150 pound max, 203.5 nanometer max, dual range torque. There it is right here, 13.6 to 203.5 nanometer. So I bought this for Joel. I'm not going to give it to him, of course, but I bought it so I can check torque on my bottom bracket, which it's done the proper way, and I didn't do it the proper way. So I can give anybody that asks me a direct answer. And there it is. 24. I paid $24.99 for a 13.6 to 203.5 nanometer torque range, and it's a it's a 1/2 inch drive. It comes with there it is right there, 1/2 inch drive. Just a torque wrench, and comes with an extension which I will not use. Pretty nice extension. I'm used to Mac tools, and I'm used to Snap-on tools and Craftsman tools. So nowadays, you know, any tool company is decent, and this looks solid and decent. It's a pretty nice engraving on it too, you see? Pretty nice engraving on there. It's an extension. This is the adapter. It feels not too heavy, but the snap bearing on it feels tight, real nice. So this is what I bought. Torque wrench is heavy. This is nice. Feels solid. So this is what I bought to check the torque on my, let me see how this sounds. Sounds pretty good. I'm not an expert on this, but it sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound cheesy. I have tools. I have a tool chest. It's at the shop. The shop is no longer owned by my mother. A lot of fingerprints on this. I wonder. But it sounds good. Solid. It looks like a nice solid build. There's always a little play. There's always a little play. Yeah, the handle. Wow. Now it's a bit loose. That's a fine. Oh, okay, there you go. This knob right here is to tighten down. So while you're tightening, your scale here doesn't move on you. So that's what this little knob is for, this lock nut right here. And this is your setting right here, which I'm going to set at nanometer. I'm going to set it at 27. Let me see, that's 20 right there. Let me get a light here. So that's 20 plus 7, and lock it there, and that's for 20.7 nanometer. And I'm gonna do this in a little while, not right now. I just woke up. And the adapter which I need, and the cup, which is a bottom bracket tool. It's a bottom bracket tool, BBT 69.2 USA. It's a Parker tool. That's what it is. It's a Parker tool, and that's what I'm using for the bottom bracket on the Sava, which is the Apex crank that came with bottom bracket. So I'll be doing this for Joel in a little while. I'll be checking the torque as soon as I take the crank off, and I will give you a proper answer on as soon as I look up the proper setting for the bottom bracket torque. I have it right now set for 27 pounds, which I suspect it should be around somewhere around there to start off with. But either way, this is what I bought from Amazon, just to check and give you guys a proper setting reading on any torquing that I do on the bike now, which is the proper way to do it. All right, until later, till I complete this, I'll get back with you guys and girls. All right, I'm back. So I moved the bike up, put some light on it. I went ahead and removed the chain. I removed the chain, and I broke loose the crank arm bolt. I'm just gonna take this completely loose, and then we're gonna put my torque wrench to use. I'm gonna use a standard ratchet. There's my bottom bracket. There's the cup. I switched it from the torque wrench. So I'm going to break this loose by hand. Now I didn't check to see how it was torqued. I suspect it's around 30 pounds to 32 pounds on the nanometer scale, which would be 32 nanometers instead of pounds, I'm sorry. So I'm going to remove the non-drive first. And now that I'm doing this just to show the YouTuber Joel, and I bought the correct tool to do this, I'm just going to go ahead and inspect and check the bottom bracket. I'll go ahead and clean it, see what it looks like. So far it looks clean. I don't see any debris or anything on the threadings. English thread. There it is. And you get there's the cup. There's the cup, and there's the grease, original grease that I put on, and there it is right there. Like I said, this is a, I mentioned this before, this is a Parker tool, BBT 69.2 USA tool. It's a tool that you use for the bottom bracket cup. Fits. I have grease, I have everything with me, but I am going to, let me see if I can get better lighting in this. Now that I'm doing this, I'm gonna actually check this. And yeah, I got some dirt and grime around the outside, the outer edge of that frame. So I'll wipe that down. And then I'll think about whether I'm going to re-grease this thing or not. All right, the chain's off. Let me go ahead and good old hammer. Here's the rest of the crank. I'm gonna look at this real good. I'm going to get rid of some of the grime and dirt that's built up right in here. I'm going to check the other side. And then we'll put it back together. I'm going to torque it. And then I'm going to give you the proper torque setting. I put it on like 32 pounds. I've already set it. I put it on 32 pounds or 32 nanometers, I'm sorry. Here. So what I'm doing is I'm just cleaning this right here. Get a good clean. And remember, I just put this outer chain ring last week. And it's looking good. Everything is looking good. So I'm going to give this a good cleaning right now. Not much, just good cleaning. Now let me set this down over here. And right here, this is good. There's no dirt, no grime, grease. Everything there is original, like wow, when I first did it, nice. Nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of that grease out of there. And I'll put some grease and then we'll put that side back on. I'll work the other side. I'm just going to do this side. I checked the torque on this side right now. I probably won't even take this side off. It feels good. It feels smooth. So this is let me just check the torque on the other side. I'm not even going to remove the other side. It's looking good. Like I said, I have this set at 32 nanometers, I believe. I set it already before I started recording. So I'll go to the other side. Let me make sure my phone's still recording. Note 9. Yeah, still recording. Let me give this a crank right here to make sure I'm going the right way over here. These things are Yep. It's already tight. It's at 32 and it's snapping at 32. Let me break it. There you go. Okay, so let's double make sure. That way I have them both tight at the same torque. My trusty. This is a $59, I believe, if I remember right. It's a $59 stand. And it works. All right. Okay. So I'm not going to clean this. I mean, I'm not going to, this seems to be good greased up. I am going to wipe some of the grease off this threading right here and apply some different grease that I have. And I'm a bit old-fashioned with this stuff, but I'm familiar with what I have. I use Hope's gun grease on my chain, and I'm going to apply a little bit on this, which is pretty good. It's thick stuff. It's made for machine. Of course, weapons are machines, and they develop a little bit of heat here and there. So we insert that, and make sure you get that thread. Be careful. That English thin thread. Got it first shot. Awesome. Now I'm gonna hand tighten it with a regular ratchet, and then I'll torque it. They'll be both torqued at the same measurement. All right. And let's see. It's kind of hard. This thing is there. It is. All right. That's it. That's how much I got it torqued at. I have it set for 30. I'm thinking according to the measurement and the scale, I have it set to something like 32 nanometers. That's 32 nanometers. and that's equivalent to almost to about 24 pounds. When you're talking pounds, it's equal to about 24 pounds, 32 nanometers. So that's how much I have the bottom bracket torqued at. I'm not gonna go past that. And that's it, it's done. I hope that that answers your question, Joel, and anybody else wondering what I got my bottom bracket torqued at. There it is. Okay. This torque wrench that I bought, by the way, it's nice. I like it. I said before, it doesn't seem cheesy. Two things I don't like about it. Your scale over here, it's an engraving, but it's not highlighted, so it's very hard to see. Okay? It's very hard to see, you know. I'm 61 years old. My eyes are not as young as yours, whoever's watching, but it should be highlighted so it could you know, it could flare out. You could just don't have strain your eyes to look at it. It's the only thing I don't like about this torque wrench. Other than that, the rest of it is good. For $24, it's a good piece. It's a good solid item. It locks real good. The handle's tight. It's nice. The engraving here, you just can't see it. It's hard to look at. But it does the work, and I bought it. I bought it so I can do things correct for you guys and girls that want to ask questions and you want to do. 32 nanometers. I have them both already set. I wiped this side. It feels good. You know, everything feels good. So, oh, that's the seal. Everything feels good. You know, nice. Put the seal back in there. I'll wipe it down. And I'm just going to put everything back. Now I'm going to show you what I did with the chain. So I broke it down. By the way, Miami, current weather, it's raining. It's a downpour out there. All right. So that's good. And this is good. So basically, all I'm going to do is take some of this gun grease, which is it's thick stuff. See, it's thick stuff. And I'm going to wrap a coating around the face plate here, where just like that. But this is me. This is how I do. This is how I work. And I'm gonna create I'm gonna fill that crevice there with grease. Leave it like that, and keep the dirt and grime from getting inside that crevice there in the metal. Whether it means something or not, I don't know. But now that I have this out, I'm gonna do that because that's the way that I am. And then I'll place this back in here. Nice. Where's my trusty hammer? I don't have a mallet, so that's pretty much it right there. Pretty much it. Put the bearing seal back on. Bearing seal has a, if I can see it. Right there. And you don't want to tap that or anything, just work it in there with your hand. And again, I'm going to use hopes. And run it through there. Should never get any kind of stuff in there or anything. And then let me see where my crank is. Oh, there goes the transformer. I heard that. Should fit right in there. Okay. And then you take, I think this is an 8mm. Yeah, it's an 8mm. And you just tighten it. And it runs itself in. And before I go cranking up on it, before I do any cranking on it, I'm gonna check the crank, see if there's any play in it. If there's no play in it, then you're good. Then you crank it, and the system this crank has is this inner bolt here works like a pulley. So it extracts it out and it brings it in. And then you check again, make sure it's solid, there's no play. Yep, it's solid. Then I'll wipe it down. I'll wipe it down and get it cleaned. But at least, there it is. Now, what's the torque on this? I have no idea. I don't have a long 8mm that I can crank down on it. I know I do. I cannot find it. So I use leverage here. And I don't think that's it. I think this is, you know, this is not coming loose. Guarantee you that. All right, I'm satisfied with that. All right, so there it is. Took the bottom bracket off, put it back on. Feels good. Spins free. No crackling, no friction. It feels solid, and that's 32, or I think it's 32 nanometers on the torque wrench. That's it, I'm good. I'm glad I did this because I haven't seen this bottom bracket off since I actually put this crank on. That was almost a year ago. So there you have it. Let me see if my Note 9 is still recording. Yep, still recording. So anyway, that's it. You see that? All right, so that's it. So now it's just the process of cleaning. I feel better now that I looked at it, I cleaned it, I got the grind from between that side over there on the crank side. It's good, it's clean here, it feels smooth. I know it's tight. I got an even torque. Joel, thank you. You forced me to buy the proper tool to do the proper job. It feels good. It's quiet. Yep. This will work. I can't wait to test it. I can't now. I got to go to work. And we're going to have rain for the next couple of days according to weather. So get yourself the proper tool for the proper job. and you get things done the proper way, and everything should work fine. Take your time. Don't rush yourself with these threads. You can easily damage them. And let me show you where my chain is. So this is a new chain, by the way. I have it inside let me see, you can see it, yeah. I have it in here with degreaser. I have it in a water bottle, which is leaking. So I'll let it sit there for a couple of hours. I'll rinse it, dry it, place it back on there, and I'm good to go. That's it. I'm not gonna ride tonight, so I'm gonna let it sit in here. And I'm gonna let the Sava sit there and take a break from the chain and all that, you know. Bikes need rest too, believe it or not. They don't tell you, but they do. All that work that they do out there and all that pounding that we give them, they like to take a break every once in a while and just breathe, you know, relax, you know. After you give them a good clean down, you wipe them, get some fresh grease and stuff on them. They feel good. They don't tell you, but they feel good. And you know, you might want to leave some music on if you go away for a couple of hours. You leave them alone. You know, some music, the TV. I leave music on for my Sava. Nothing special. Depeche Mode, David Gilmour. You know, stuff like that. She likes it. So anyway, Joel, I hope you now understand torque. I have it set according to my settings here. I have it set to 32 nanometer. That's what I tied my bottom bracket at. And the cup that I used, I'll mention it again. Bravo Bravo Tango 69.2. That's a BBT, and it's a BBT 69.2, and it's a Parker tool. So, all right. Clean, clean, clean. I'll put the Sava back over here until morning time. I'll put the chain back on. I have the tools. I hope you enjoy the video. I enjoyed doing this for Joel and everybody else who wants to know what my bottom bracket is. Tight that. That's it. I'm gonna get cleaned up and go to work. Can't get enough of this bike stuff, man. I tell you. All right. Until next time, be safe.